I'm here to talk about Yonkers Partners in Education, YPI, which was founded by a couple of women in 2000, I think around 2008 approximately. Basically, the idea was that they came from communities where in their children's high schools there were tremendous resources for students applying to colleges, while in Yonkers that was so far from the case it was laughable. I currently work in a school, volunteer in a school in Yonkers where there are about 300 kids in the graduating class this year. They have one guidance counselor, whereas at Edgemont, where my children attend, there are 3 guidance counselors for about 150 kids. And the dedication by the guidance counselors in schools vary tremendously, but I think that what happened was they worked with, Ellen and Wendy worked with the people who run the Yonkers schools, and after an enormous effort, managed to convince them to allow them to put one college and career counselor in each of the 6 principal high schools in Yonkers. So you're doubling the population of who can be held. And they set up a room in each of the high schools that is essentially a college center with computers, with funding that ranges from $500 and up to over $100,000, all from local entities. And I just want people like entities like Domino and Regeneron and J.P. Morgan Chase and Forest City Ratner and the Lanza Family Foundation. And I can read there are something like 40 or 50 entities that provide funding for this organization, and they've only been in existence for about 8 years. So what do I actually do? About 3 years ago, they started up a program called Graduation Mentors, Graduation Mentor Scholars, and they took in 9th graders from across the high schools in Yonkers, and they matched them with a mentor. Because there were way more students than mentors, many mentors have 2 to 4 students. I'm down to 1 because a couple of my kids have dropped off. And what I do is meet with this student for 40 minutes every other week. It is such a limited amount of time that I do through this particular arm of the program. And I talk to her about the same stuff that I'm talking to my child about in the process of getting her ready for college, the kinds of conversations that we're having at home on a regular basis. But in case you don't happen to just match your kid at home in the same grade with your mentee, they give you a book that is filled day by day, week by week, with information to be covered that is actually invaluable. I read through about 150 pages just to make sure that I was prepared and up to date for the junior year that my current mentee is in. The kids come from all kinds of backgrounds. Many are first-generation college students. Many are first-generation Americans. Some come from families where English is spoken at home. Some don't. The kids are great. I mean, I had been volunteering in the schools for several years before this program started in the college center. And I was just loving my experience there because I went in not really knowing what to expect of Yonkers high school students and remembering the stories from my days in high school of Bronx students and it being, kind of like, watch out, the file cabinets are being thrown out the window, and I'm thinking, is this what Yonkers is going to be like? And it couldn't be further from the truth. I'm working with kids whose smiles light up their faces when I come over to help them work on a college essay or to work on trying to figure out what kind of college they should be looking at. The stats that YPI puts out about the success of their programs is remarkable, but I'm not a stats person, so I don't ever remember numbers, and I apologize to those of you who actually care about it. But they have taken something like below 70% of the students and now have over 90% of the students applying to colleges. They have created programs where they're not just working with the kids on applying to college, but they're actually working now to create programs to match people with the college students so that they can succeed through their college years. The graduation mentorship program, they have one cohort now that I'm working with, so we started with these kids in 9th grade, and this year they're starting a new cohort in January, and they are actively looking for volunteers to start this January, working with a new cohort of 9th graders, so you'll get them starting in the middle of 9th grade, and the commitment is to please work with them through the end of 12th grade, meeting with them every other week on site at the local high school for 40 minutes. And you're not to meet with them outside of school, so for those of you who are concerned, well, I don't have time to take them out to ball games or to theater, or I don't really want to spend the money on that, you're not allowed to do that. It's just the conversation. It's helping them to focus on what it is that they need to be thinking about. Are they taking the right courses? I mean, I see so many kids who don't even take a full complement of an academic load. And so by working one-on-one with these kids, you can help them to think about it and actively make changes in their schedule over the course of their years in high school. There is a sheet that's out there, looks like this. You can email me, you can get in touch with them, but anybody who's interested, it would be great to have you come on board.
That's another example of something that's 15 minutes from here, where you're helping people who we normally would not come in contact with, and you're using your skills as a parent and in transferring that to others. Great work. Thank you.